All right, this is my last of my 5 new technologies, and this one is absolutely brand new to me. It's possibly my favorite one, besides Pinterest, of course, which is where I found it. This one was brought to me by a student a few weeks back and said that her mom used it in her classroom, and she thought it was so much fun, and she said it just sounded like something that I would like to do. And I started looking into it. It was picked for me on Pinterest, and it was picked several times. It kept popping up on my screen. So I thought I should look into it. And then when I found out that I needed to do technologies for this class, it was right there staring at me. Um, Another girl that's taken this class with me um, is actually one of my coworkers, Bailey Morgan, and her and I are super, super pumped with this class dojo. We are actually getting ready to start next week. We've been experimenting all throughout this week, and we're going to pilot it next week for our school. And our goal is to set it up with our homerooms. We're going to send a note to the parents and explain that this is just something we're trying out. And we want to know the feedback. We want to know the positives, the negatives, if they like it, and so on. And we figured we'd do the same thing with the students. And if we really like it and it works as well as we seem to think it's going to work, then we're going to possibly take it to our principal to talk about as well. Um, I chose this, like I said, because this is something that I'm wanting to use next year. I'm not big in 5th and 6th grade on classroom behavior management programs, and that's because most of the kids I feel at that age don't need some specific move your worm here, change your card to red, yellow, or whatnot. However, I'm getting a super, super tricky class next year, and they will be very challenging. Behavior wise, they've kind of been one of the, I should say, the roughest that we've seen for a while. So I'm looking into something like this, and this is basically to cover classroom and behavior management. My audience would be my coworkers for now, but eventually parents, even students, because I want to explain what this is to them and be able to um, discuss every part of this. My goal is better communication with students and parents, and I'm trying to get the students excited about their behavior. And we'd also like to tie it in somewhat with our character education program as well. The ISTE standards that I chose were Teacher 2C, which is to customize and personalize learning activities to address students' diverse learning styles, working strategies, and abilities using digital tools and resources. And then I also chose 3B, which is collaborate with students, peers, parents, and community members using digital tools and resources to support student success and innovation. So these are just a few of the things that we're looking into. Like I said, we're very excited about it. I'm basically new to it as well. I've been working through it for the last few weeks, and I think I've pretty much got most of the quirks figured out. This is what the screen's going to look like when you go to www.classdojo.com. I'm already logged in. You can sign up for free. It takes just a few seconds, but I'm going to go ahead and go back into welcome back. And as you can see, I haven't done much. I've just been practicing, experimenting, playing, so I don't have an actual class added. I went ahead and they give you a demo class. I haven't put a picture or anything. All of this, which I plan on filling in, I just have not done so yet. Here's my demo class that they give us: Brad Pitt, Cameron Diaz, Halle Berry, Johnny Depp, and Matthew Damon. Basically, the idea behind this, you can see I reset their bubbles so they have nothing. Um, they're all starting off at 0. Let's say it's my study hall time, and I expect it to be very quiet during study hall because students are trying to work. So my whole class here is doing awesome. I don't hear one word. I'm going to go to award multiple. I'm going to choose every single one of them, and I'm going to give an award. Okay, now there's all sorts of awards, and I'm going to go into the class that I've created that I've been playing with because I've added some extra. But let's say for now they're on task. You can see how they each get a point for on task. Okay, I'm going to go into Hallie, and I'm going to put that she is working very hard. She's asked me questions. She's doing very nice handwriting. good fifth grade answers. So I gave her a point. And then actually I saw Matthew doing that as well. So I'm going to give him a point for working hard. And I'm going to keep track of this throughout the day. There are all sorts of things that I can give them. Now, when I get to the end of the day and I realize I'm writing out my homework and I didn't get Bradley's reading assignment, so I'm going to come over here to needs work and I'm going to put, well, uh, unprepared for now because he was unprepared. He didn't have his work um, completed. And those are just some basic random ones that they give you. Now I'm going to go back and show you my other screen because I've actually personalized some of these awards. And you can see poor Blake over here, he's not doing so well. And yes, I was watching the ACMs last week when I made up this class, as you can tell from all of my lovely class students. I'm going to go into Tony Romo here. And you can see I added a whole different set. There's positive for helping others, persistence, teamwork, listening, on task. And I thought these are things that I deal with. Okay, these are things that we're pushing. And I also thought I could potentially even go back in and do trustworthiness, respectfulness, showing citizenship, and really adjust them to our 6 pillars of character ed. I also, on needs work, this is what I was looking for the other day, no homework. I added a no homework because this is something that I deal with in 6th grade and also in 5th. So let's say Tony Romo did not turn in his assignments for today. I'm going to go in and go ahead and take a negative off for him. Now, the funny thing about this is it's actually geared more towards positive instruction, and they want you to do more positives. In fact, I read, if we go over, a lot of this has just been hit or miss. I go in and I just play with it. But if I go into display, that's not where I wanted to go. I go into reports, and you can see the parent accounts, the student accounts. This will print off a list so the parents can get right in. It's got it has a password for the parents and for the students so they can get right in. You can also edit your class. So there's behaviors. Here's where you edit the behaviors and choose the behaviors that you're wanting. Okay, and you can go all the way down. You can add behaviors. Also, you can go into the needs work and you can edit them there. So those will be nice to play around with. You can go into students. You can add students. If you click on a student, you can even change his monster, which I thought it'd be fun to let them change their monsters. You can see all of them they have to choose from. I'm going to go with this guy, and I'm going to save it and close it. So if I go back up, you can see Blake Shelton is now the purple-blue monster. So this is something that you can just play around with. There's teachers, there's home, there's so many areas to really get in and dig deep with this. Also, I was going to edit I edited my class already. That's what I was just doing. When I go into display settings, you can change their monster sizes. You can, again, edit the behaviors. You can sort by student order. These are your notifications, which I want them to be on. I want them to be able to hear and know when they get an award. And, this is just a lot of hit or miss. I'm going to go back to my home screen. You can join your school, which, like I said, I have not quite yet done. I plan on doing that. This is where I found it was really interesting. If you go through these tips and start reading, there was a video. But there's also a lot of things in this video. She says that the average is to try to give your kids about 10 positives a day. Now, negatives will be based on behavior and what they do, but it's nice to try to find 10 positives a day. And I was thinking about that. At first, I was thinking, how in the world am I going to find 10 positives about every single student? But they give you so many ideas on if they line up, go ahead and, zing them a point. If they are walking quietly through the halls, zing them a point. If they grab someone's papers off the floor, pencils off the work, if they're helping a friend out, then give them a point. So when I started thinking about this, it will take a little bit of work on my behalf, but I think it would be very beneficial to them. And how awesome for students to see, oh my gosh, look at all the positive things that I'm doing. And it says to show your enthusiasm, and overall it's a great parent-teacher communication. You can go in, there's a help desk, you can go ahead and ask for any help that you need. But honestly, after I read all of these about the community and went through all those, they were awesome. They gave me a lot of really cool tips and pointers for how to get started. Again, if I go back into my class, it says invite parents and students, and I can put in Blake Shelton's parent email and I can invite them. And all of these just basically explain why it's important for parents to be connected and follow along. So, again, I know that I spoke for an incredibly long time on that. This is just something that I'm really excited about and I feel very strongly for, and hopefully it'll work out. And if anybody has any feedback on this program or has been doing it in their class, then by all means, then please let me know what you think. Thank you.